Hello, everyone. My name is Emily. Welcome to English Club. I am so happy to be here with you today. I hope you are all doing well. Today, we are going to talk about something that makes many people nervous, but is so important for career success.
Hello, Emily. How are you today?
Hi, Paul. I am doing great, thank you. How about you? Have you been in a job interview recently?
Not recently, but I remember my interviews very well. They were stressful, but also exciting opportunities. The key was preparation. When I knew what questions to expect and how to answer them, I felt much more confident. And that is exactly what we are talking about today.
Yes, exactly. Job interview English. Specifically, the must-know questions that appear in almost every job interview. If you are applying for jobs in English-speaking countries or international companies, you need to be prepared for these questions.
That is right. Job interviews in English can be intimidating, especially if English is not your first language. You are already nervous about the interview itself, and then you have to do it in a second language. That adds extra pressure.
But here's the good news. Most job interviews follow predictable patterns. Interviewers ask similar questions across different companies and industries. If you prepare answers to these common questions, you will be much more confident and successful.
Exactly. Today, we are going to go through the most common job interview questions, explain what interviewers really want to know when they ask these questions, and give you strategies for answering them effectively.
Yes, and we will give example answers so you can hear how natural, professional responses sound. By the end of this video, you will be prepared for your next job interview in English.
That is right. Now, before we dive into all these interview questions and strategies, let me remind our viewers about something important.
Yes, please do.
Before we start today's topic, please like and subscribe to our channel for more English learning videos. Your support helps us create practical content for real-life situations like job interviews. We appreciate every single one of you.
Yes, please take a moment to like and subscribe. We are here to help you succeed in your career by improving your English communication skills. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, let us talk about job interview questions. Emily, what is the most common opening question in almost every job interview?
The most common opening question is, "Tell me about yourself." This appears in probably 90% of interviews. It seems simple, but many people struggle with it because it is so broad. What should you talk about? How long should you speak? Where do you start?
Yes, this question confuses many candidates. Here's what interviewers really want to know. They want a brief professional summary. They want to understand your background, your relevant experience, and why you are sitting in front of them applying for this position.
Exactly. This is not the time to talk about your personal life, your hobbies, or your childhood. Keep it professional. A good structure for answering this question is present, past, future. Start with where you are now professionally, then briefly mention your relevant past experience, then connect it to why you are interested in this position. Perfect structure. Let me give an example answer. I am currently a marketing manager at a tech startup where I lead a team of 5 people managing digital campaigns. Before this, I spent 3 years at an advertising agency developing social media strategies for various clients. I am now looking for an opportunity to work with a larger organization where I can scale my impact, which is why I am excited about this position at your company.
That is an excellent answer. Notice how Paul started with his current role, mentioned relevant past experience, and then connected it to this job opportunity. The answer was focused, professional, and about 1 minute long. That is the sweet spot for this question.
Right. Do not speak for 10 minutes. Keep it concise, 1 to 2 minutes maximum. You want to give them enough information to understand your background, but not so much that you lose their attention.
Exactly. Now, the second very common question is, why do you want this job? Or why are you interested in this position? Interviewers ask this to understand your motivation and whether you have done research about the company and role.
Yes, this question reveals whether you actually care about this specific job or if you are just applying to any company that will hire you. To answer well, you need to show that you understand what the job involves and explain why it aligns with your career goals and interests.
Right. Do not give generic answers like, I need a job or the salary is good. Even if those are true, they are not impressive answers. Instead, mention specific aspects of the job that interest you and how they connect to your skills and goals.
Let me give an example. I am interested in this position because it combines two areas I am passionate about: data analysis and customer experience. I have spent the last few years developing my analytical skills, and I am excited about the opportunity to apply them to improve customer satisfaction. I also researched your company, and I am impressed by your commitment to innovation and your customer-first approach. I believe my skills and your company's mission are a great match.
Perfect answer. You mentioned specific aspects of the job, connected them to your skills and interests, showed you researched the company, and explained why it is a good fit. That is exactly what interviewers want to hear.
Now, the third common question is, what are your strengths? This question gives you an opportunity to sell yourself, to highlight what makes you valuable, but you need to be strategic about which strengths you mention.
Yes, do not just list random strengths. Choose strengths that are relevant to the job you are applying for. If you are applying for a sales job, mention your communication skills and ability to build relationships. If you are applying for an analytical role, mention your attention to detail and problem-solving abilities.
Exactly. And here is an important tip. Do not just state the strength, give a brief example that demonstrates it. This makes your answer more credible and memorable.
Let me give an example. One of my key strengths is project management. I am very organized and skilled at coordinating multiple tasks and people to meet deadlines. For example, in my previous role, I managed a product launch that involved coordinating with design, engineering, and marketing teams. Despite tight timelines and unexpected challenges, we launched on schedule and exceeded our initial sales targets by 20%.
Excellent answer. You stated the strength, explained what it means, and gave a concrete example with results. That is the formula: strength plus example plus result. Exactly. Now, the opposite question: what are your weaknesses? This is a tricky question. Many candidates do not know how to answer it honestly without hurting their chances of getting the job.
Yes, this question makes people uncomfortable. Here is the strategy. Choose a real weakness, but choose one that is not critical for the job, and most importantly, show what you are doing to improve it. This demonstrates self-awareness and commitment to growth.
Right. Do not give the cliché answer, "I am a perfectionist," or "I work too hard." Interviewers have heard these 1,000 times, and they know you are avoiding the question. Be more genuine, but strategic.
Let me give an example. I sometimes struggle with public speaking in large groups. I am comfortable in small meetings and one-on-one conversations, but presenting to audiences of 50 or more people makes me nervous. I recognize this as an area I need to develop, so I recently joined a Toastmasters club to practice public speaking in a supportive environment. I have already seen improvement, and I am committed to continuing this development.
That is a strong answer. You admitted a real weakness, but you showed you are actively working to improve it. This shows honesty and growth mindset. Employers appreciate candidates who can acknowledge areas for improvement and take initiative to develop themselves.
Exactly. Now, let us talk about behavioral questions. These are questions that start with phrases like, "tell me about a time when," or "give me an example of." These questions ask you to describe specific past situations.
Yes, behavioral questions are very common in modern interviews. The idea is that past behavior predicts future behavior. If you handled a difficult situation well in the past, you will likely handle similar situations well in the future.
Right. Common behavioral questions include, "tell me about a time when you faced a challenge at work." "Give me an example of when you worked on a team." "Describe a situation where you had to deal with a difficult person." And "tell me about a time when you failed."
For behavioral questions, use the STAR method. STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. First, describe the situation you were in. Second, explain what task or challenge you faced. Third, describe the actions you took. Fourth, share the results or outcome.
This structure keeps your answer organized and complete. Let me give an example for "tell me about a time when you faced a challenge at work." Situation. In my previous job, our team was assigned a project with an extremely tight deadline. Task. I was responsible for coordinating the work of team members across different departments. Action. I created a detailed timeline, held daily check-in meetings to track progress, and identified potential bottlenecks early so we could address them proactively. Result: we completed the project 2 days ahead of schedule and received praise from senior management for our efficiency and quality of work.
Perfect star answer. You told a complete story with clear beginning, middle, and end. You showed your skills in action, and you shared a positive result. This is exactly what interviewers are looking for.
Now, let us talk about why did you leave your last job, or why are you leaving your current job? This question can be sensitive, especially if you left under difficult circumstances.
Yes, this requires diplomacy. The key is to be honest but positive. Do not badmouth your previous employer, even if you had a terrible experience. Criticizing past employers makes you look unprofessional and makes interviewers wonder if you will speak negatively about them in the future.
Right. Focus on what you are moving toward, not what you are running away from. Frame your answer positively. Talk about seeking new challenges, wanting to grow, looking for better alignment with your career goals.
Let me give an example. I enjoyed my time at my previous company and learned a great deal there. However, I am now looking for an opportunity to take on more responsibility and work on larger scale projects. Your company offers those opportunities, which is why I am excited about this position.
Good answer. You acknowledged the positive aspects of your previous job, but explained that you are ready for the next step in your career. This sounds ambitious and professional, not negative or bitter.
Exactly. Now, let us talk about where do you see yourself in 5 years? This question assesses whether you have career goals and whether this position fits into your plans.
Yes, employers want to hire people who will stay and grow with the company, not people who see this job as a temporary stepping stone. Your answer should show ambition, but also commitment to the company.
Right. Do not say, I want to have your job to the interviewer. That sounds aggressive. Do not say, I do not know, because that sounds aimless. Instead, talk about developing skills, taking on more responsibility, and contributing at a higher level.
Let me give an example. In 5 years, I see myself as a senior member of the team, having developed deep expertise in this field. I hope to be leading projects and perhaps mentoring junior team members. I am committed to growing with the company long term, and I believe this position offers that path.
That is a strong answer. You showed ambition, commitment, and alignment with the company. Now, let us talk about, do you have any questions for us? This question comes at the end of almost every interview.
Yes, and many candidates underestimate this question. They say, no, I think you covered everything, or no, thank you. But this is a mistake. This is your opportunity to show your interest and learn more about the company.
Exactly. Always have questions prepared. Good questions show you are thoughtful, engaged, and serious about the opportunity.
Ask about the team you would be joining, the challenges the department is facing, opportunities for growth, or the company culture.
Here are some good questions you can ask. What does success look like in this role? What are the biggest challenges facing the team right now? Can you describe the team I would be working with? What opportunities are there for professional development? What do you enjoy most about working here?
These are thoughtful questions that show genuine interest. Avoid asking about salary, benefits, or vacation time in the first interview, unless the interviewer brings it up. Save those questions for later in the process.
Right. Focus on understanding the role and showing your interest first. Compensation discussions come later. Now, let me give some general tips for job interview success. Tip 1. Research the company before the interview. Understand what they do, their mission, their recent news. This helps you give informed answers and intelligent questions.
Tip 2. Practice your answers out loud. Do not just think about them in your head. Actually speak them. This helps you sound more natural and confident during the real interview.
Tip 3. Prepare specific examples from your experience. Think about times you led projects, solved problems, worked in teams, handled challenges. Have these stories ready so you can use them to answer behavioral questions.
Tip 4. Dress professionally. Even for virtual interviews, dress as you would for an in-person interview. Professional appearance affects how you feel and how you are perceived.
Tip 5. Arrive early or log in early for virtual interviews. Being late creates a terrible first impression. Aim to arrive 5 to 10 minutes early.
Tip 6. Bring copies of your resume, a notebook, and a pen. Even if the interviewer has your resume, having extra copies shows you are prepared. Taking notes shows you are engaged.
Tip 7. Mind your body language. Make eye contact, sit up straight, smile, give a firm handshake. These nonverbal cues communicate confidence and professionalism.
Tip 8. Speak clearly and at a moderate pace. If English is not your first language, do not rush. It is okay to take a moment to think before answering. Thoughtful answers are better than rushed, unclear ones.
Tip 9. Be enthusiastic. Show that you genuinely want this job. Enthusiasm is attractive to employers. Even if you are nervous, try to convey your excitement about the opportunity. Tip 10. Send a thank you email after the interview. Within 24 hours, send a brief email thanking the interviewer for their time, reiterating your interest in the position, and mentioning something specific from your conversation. This shows professionalism and keeps you top of mind.
These tips significantly improve your interview performance. Now, let me mention some common mistakes to avoid. Mistake 1. Arriving late or unprepared. This shows lack of professionalism and respect for the interviewer's time.
Mistake 2. Speaking negatively about previous employers or coworkers. This makes you look difficult and unprofessional.
Mistake 3. Lying or exaggerating your experience. The truth always comes out eventually, and dishonesty destroys trust.
Mistake 4. Being too casual. Even if the company culture is relaxed, maintain professionalism during the interview. You can relax once you get the job.
Mistake 5. Not asking any questions at the end. This suggests you are not truly interested in the position.
Mistake 6. Checking your phone during the interview. This is incredibly rude and disrespectful. Turn your phone off completely.
Mistake 7. Bad-mouthing yourself. Some candidates are too humble or self-deprecating. This is not the time for modesty. Present your skills and accomplishments confidently.
Mistake 8. Rambling or giving unfocused answers. Keep your answers concise and relevant. If you notice you are losing the interviewer's attention, wrap up your answer.
Avoid these mistakes and you will be ahead of many other candidates. Now, let me talk about language tips specifically for non-native English speakers. It is okay to ask for clarification if you do not understand a question. Say, "Could you please rephrase that question?" Or, "I want to make sure I understand correctly. Are you asking about?"
Yes, asking for clarification is much better than guessing and giving an irrelevant answer. Interviewers understand that English might not be your first language, and they will appreciate your effort to understand clearly.
If you need a moment to think, you can buy time with phrases like, "That is a great question. Let me think about that for a moment." Or, "Let me think about the best example to share." These phrases are natural and acceptable.
And if you make a grammar mistake while speaking, do not stop and correct yourself. Keep going. Fluency and clarity are more important than perfect grammar. If your message is understood, that is what matters.
Exactly. Confidence matters more than perfection. Well, Emily, we have covered so much about job interview English today. We went through the most common questions, explained what interviewers want to hear, gave example answers, and shared important tips and mistakes to avoid.
Yes, I think our listeners are now much better prepared for their next job interview in English. Remember, preparation is the key to confidence. When you know what questions to expect and have practiced your answers, you will feel much more confident.
Absolutely. And every interview is practice for the next one. Even if you do not get the job, you gain valuable experience. Each interview makes you better at interviewing.
That is a great perspective. Do not be discouraged by rejection. Every successful person has been rejected many times. What matters is a learning from each experience and continuing to improve.
Now, before we finish, let us ask our listeners a question.
Yes, we would love to hear from you.
Dear listeners, have you ever had a job interview in English? What was the most difficult question you were asked? Or if you have not interviewed yet, which question from today's video makes you most nervous? Please share in the comments below.
Yes, please share your experiences or concerns. Your comments help us understand what content would be most helpful for future videos, and they help other learners who might have similar experiences.
And while you are here, please like this video if you found it helpful. Your like tells us you appreciate practical, career-focused content like this.
And please subscribe to English Club for more English learning videos. We create content to help you succeed in professional and personal situations using English.
Please like and subscribe to English Club for more English learning videos. Thank you so much for listening today. Thank you for investing in your career success by improving your English interview skills.
Thank you, everyone. Remember, you are capable and qualified. Prepare well, present yourself confidently, and believe in your abilities. You can succeed in English job interviews.
Yes, the job you want is waiting for you. Prepare with these tips, practice your answers, and go into that interview with confidence. You have got this.
Well said. Good luck to everyone with upcoming interviews. You are going to do great.
Until next time, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye.